Former Vice President Mike Pence spoke publicly for the first time since documents marked classified were found in his Indiana home. Pence says he's told his counsel to cooperate with the DOJ, the National Archives, and Congress.
Now, while I was not aware that those classified documents were in our personal residence, let me be clear. Those classified documents should not have been in my personal residence. Mistakes were made. And I take full responsibility.
For more, Marc Short joins us now. He was previously the chief of staff for former Vice President Mike Pence and the director of legislative affairs for former President Trump. He is currently Mr. Pence's senior advisor. Thank you so much for joining us. And I really want to just start there with what the former vice president just said. Mistakes were made. Of course, we went through all of your titles. You're his senior advisor. What went wrong here?
Well, Nicole, I think you heard the vice president take responsibility of the fact that there were documents in his home. We're still looking into how that happened. But I think that,
I mean, how did it happen?
Well, there's a couple of things. It's our mistake because we did look through all the West Wing documents. I think these were documents that came from the personal residence. But in that process, I think that there's a reality that, unfortunately, much of the packing happened after January 6th, as you know. Much of the residence was still as it was on the 6th. And so with about 10 days to go, probably things were done in a more hurried fashion, even though we thought we had a safe process to make sure that documents were returned appropriately. But we take responsibility, as you heard the vice president say, fully cooperated. I do have some concerns. I do think there's a double standard with the way DOJ has operated when it comes to Republicans and Democrats in this situation. You know, when we contacted the archives to self-disclose this, the archives explained the process of sending a team out to the vice president's residence to collect the materials and bring them back to D.C., and they look through them and determine if anything is still classified. And if it is, they turn it over to DOJ. That's the process. That's the process they followed for President Biden. But in our case, that very same day, DOJ decided they wanted to come to the vice president's home in the middle of the night when he was here for the March for Life rally to collect the material. So,
I mean, what do you make of that?
It does seem like there's a double standard, and I think you'd have to ask DOJ what to make of that. But we're fully cooperating with any congressional or other investigation, and as you said, all the materials have been returned.
I mean, besides that, has the Department of Justice reached out to you or the former vice president beyond that particular episode, and have you gotten any indication as to whether or not they might appoint a special counsel?
We've heard nothing about a potential special counsel.
And what more can you tell us about some of the documents that were found?
Well, we can't, because the process is that if you see that there's markings on them, you put them aside and they're put in a safe. And that's what counsel, the vice president, did. Because our security clearances have evaporated at this point, I should say, they've run out. And so what happens is that they take back possession of the archives, and they're the ones that determine things still classified. And then they let us know. We have not heard at this point whether or not those documents are at this point outdated or presumably potentially still classified.
I want to switch subjects now and turn to 2024. I know you probably get a lot of questions about this all the time, but you know, the former vice president did say last week that he is still considering potentially throwing his hat into the presidential ring. We know he has a number of events scheduled in the upcoming weeks in places like Washington, Texas, South Carolina. When will he make a decision?
Well, I think he's getting a lot of encouragement as he travels the country to do this, and I think he's continuing to listen to folks who are encouraging that direction. I think that there's not really a timetable that says you must get in at a certain point. I think he has the ability to wait longer because certainly people are well familiar with his record and his name. It's not the same. Some candidates, I think, need to build name ID and get in at an earlier point. I do think the field is somewhat, you know, it's impacted by a former president deciding to run again. I think that keeps things a little bit frozen.
Has he spoken to the former president about whether he may potentially run?
They haven't had that conversation.
I mean, will he reach out before he makes a decision one way or the other?
Let's let him and his family make a decision first before figuring out who they need to reach out to.
Obviously, we know one big issue kind of overshadowing everything is the debt ceiling right now. And so how do you think your party is handling that? I know you were in charge of legislative affairs, but in terms of this posture by Republicans that there must be spending cuts in order to agree to a debt limit, do you agree with that posture, or should there just be a straight, clean vote?
I think it's totally appropriate to have legislation attached to a debt ceiling. I think they're totally appropriate. And I think it's time for America to have a real conversation about spending. We're at $32 trillion in debt. For the first time since World War II, we've reached the point that our debt to GDP is over 100%. Both parties should be having this conversation. I guess some of my concern is that the reality is most of our budget, up to close to 70%, is now mandatory spending. And everybody said, we're not going to touch any of that. So we're going to say over this 30% of the pie, we're going to fight about 2%, which is roughly 0.06% of our federal budget. And so I feel that both sides aren't really talking about the trajectory that we're on that's driving us over a fiscal cliff. And so I think it's appropriate for Republicans to discuss the spending. It's appropriate, in fact, to have legislation tied to a debt ceiling. But we're not really addressing the real causes that are driving our spending, which are the mandatory spending programs.
I mean, given the dynamics in this Congress and with the administration, where do you put the chances at for default?
Well, I don't think there'll be default. I do think that Republicans have tried this path a couple times in 2011, 2013 without success. And so I think it's going to be challenging.
I mean, we were right on the brink.
Yeah, sure. But I think it's also extra challenging if Republicans in the House and the Senate are not on the same page. And so I do think it's important that Speaker McCarthy have backup from Senate Republicans, and they need to be on the same page, too, to make sure there's a united front in this debate.
All right. Well, Marc Short, thanks so much always for stopping in and stopping by, and we hope you join us again.
Thanks for having me, Nicole.
Sure.